I'm Joe Cirincione. I'm the president of Ploughshares Fund. I've been doing that for about 8 years, but I've been in Washington, D.C. for over 30 years working on national security issues as a staffer on the House Armed Services Committee, as a director for the Nonproliferation Program at the Carnegie Endowment, as the vice president for national security at the Center for American Progress, and now here at Ploughshares. Nobody expects a new arms race. Most people thought nuclear weapons were a thing of the past. The Cold War is over, nuclear stockpiles have been coming down, more and more countries have given up these weapons, very few are trying to get them. We just concluded a historic agreement with Iran that stops that nuclear threat, and yet the Pentagon wants to completely rebuild the Cold War arsenal. There are contracts moving through Congress, moving through the Pentagon, that would spend $1 trillion over the next 30 years for a brand new generation of nuclear missiles, nuclear subs, nuclear bombers, and for what? Nuclear weapons have absolutely nothing to do with the real security threats we face. We're talking about spending so much money so quickly for a whole new generation that if we do this, what's Russia going to do? Of course they're going to have to match us. What's China going to do? They're going to take their small arsenal and start to expand it, which is going to impact India and Pakistan. In other words, what we do here in the United States could set off a nuclear chain reaction that could ripple around the globe and throw us back to the worst, most dangerous years of the Cold War. We don't need nuclear weapons for the real security threats we face. They do one thing and one thing only. They deter other countries from attacking us with nuclear weapons. But they don't deal with ISIS. They don't deal with the competition with Russia. They don't deal with the collapse of the Middle East. You can't use a nuclear weapon for any of those things. I can't think of a single military mission that requires us to use even one nuclear weapon. There hasn't been for over 70 years, but we have 5,000. It makes no sense. Of all the candidates, Bernie Sanders probably has the most complete nuclear policy. He's supported in the Senate a bill called the SANE Act, which would save $100 billion over the next 10 years by cutting back nuclear weapons programs. Hillary Clinton has many advisors on her campaign who I believe will help her craft a new nuclear policy, a more restrained nuclear policy. Yes, improve the nuclear weapons, but don't rebuild the entire nuclear triad, but she hasn't spoken on it yet. On the Republican side, interestingly enough, Donald Trump, who blusters quite a bit about nuclear policy, doesn't have a stated view, but there are indications that he cares a lot less about defense contractors than some of his opponents, such as Ted Cruz, who almost certainly would go along with plans to greatly increase the defense budget and the nuclear contracts that go with it. If you'd like more information on this, come visit us at the ploughshares.org website. You'll find our nuclear stockpile report there, which gives you connections so you can look at what each country has and find out what the leading experts in the world are saying about it.